You ever been in a relationship that just feels like a puzzle you can't solve? One minute, it's absolutely perfect, and the next, it's a total nightmare. Well, today we're going to decode that. We're talking about the Narcissist's Playbook, and we're going to lay out a really clear framework to help make sense of all those confusing, unsettling patterns. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at the false foundation it all starts with. Then, we'll get into the rules of control. After that, we'll dive into the war on your mind, which is huge. And finally, we'll talk about the personal cost of it all.
Okay, so let's jump right in with part one, the false foundation. See, every relationship has to be built on something, right? But with a narcissistic one, that foundation is just completely flawed from the very first day. Let's break down how they build that illusion so convincingly.
And this really shows you the night and day difference. On one side, you've got a healthy relationship, right? It's all about respect, care, a real connection. But then you look at the narcissistic relationship, and it's totally different. It's governed by interest, what they can get from you. The whole thing is superficial, there's no real emotion there, and that feeling of security you might have, it's fake. It's built on purpose just to pull you in.
So how do they do it? How do they create that false sense of security? It all comes down to the fake persona. This is the mask they wear. They're not showing you who they really are. No way. Instead, they're showing you exactly what you want to see. It's a master performance, and it has one goal and one goal only: to hide what's really going on, their own selfish motives.
Okay, so once they've got that false foundation locked in, things start to shift. This brings us to our second section, the rules of control. And trust me, these are unwritten rules, and they are completely unfair. It's all about building a system to keep you right where they want you.
And it really boils down to three core demands. First, they demand blind obedience. Your thoughts, your feelings, they don't matter. Second, they expect you to be gullible. You're just supposed to believe whatever they say, no questions asked. And third, they enforce a superficial connection. Why? Because a deep, genuine bond is a huge threat to their control.
And this quote, wow, it just nails one of their biggest tactics. The narcissist will try to convince you that their presence in your life is a stroke of luck. See what they're doing? They're making themselves out to be this incredible prize. It makes you feel like you owe them something, like you should just be grateful they're even there. It's subtle, but it's an incredibly powerful way to take control.
And here's what makes it so isolating. To everyone else, your friends, your family, coworkers, they can seem totally normal, charming even. But all of that toxic behavior, that's saved for one person, you. And because of that, it's almost impossible to get anyone else to see what's happening. It leaves you feeling completely alone, like you're the one losing your mind.
And that feeling of, am I going crazy? That leads us straight into our third part, the war on your mind. Because this is the point where the relationship stops being just difficult and becomes completely disorienting. And you absolutely have to understand this part to get the full picture. So what's their main weapon in this war? It's something called cognitive dissonance. All that means is the incredible mental confusion you feel when you're trying to believe two things that completely contradict each other. Like, this person says they love me, but at the same time, this person is deliberately hurting me. That constant state of confusion, that's the glue that holds this toxic dynamic together for so long.
Which leads to this really important question. I mean, just think about it for a second. If your brain is desperately trying to square those two realities, the amazing person you fell for and the cruel person in front of you now, how on earth are you supposed to get clear enough to decide to leave? It's like you're mentally trapped.
And here are just a few examples of the kinds of behaviors that create that confusion. It's like they actually seem to enjoy when you're in pain. But then, if you're not happy enough about their successes, they get furious. They are masters at playing the victim so convincingly that you actually start to wonder if you're the bad guy. They'll even change their tone of voice, to really sell the performance. It's just a non-stop, theatrical, confusing mess.
Well, living in that kind of mental battlefield, it comes with a serious price tag. And that's what our final section is all about, the personal cost. We're going to look at the very real, very tangible price you pay for staying in a relationship like this.
And here's the bottom line. The cost is a slow, steady, and devastating lowering of your standards. Things you would never have put up with before, suddenly they just feel normal. Your boundaries get worn down, bit by bit, personally, socially, psychologically, until one day you look up and you don't even recognize yourself or what you used to stand for.
I mean, look at this. This chart shows it perfectly. One of the biggest impacts is on your self-esteem.
You might have come into the relationship feeling great about yourself, really confident, but it's systematically torn down. You end up feeling insecure, questioning your own worth, and it's a direct result of all that constant criticism and control.
And this next part, this is probably the most chilling piece of the puzzle. You have to ask why. Why do they do this? The answer is they get addicted to it. They get addicted to the feeling of power they get from hurting you. It's like a drug, a painkiller for their own deep-seated insecurities. Your pain actually makes them feel better. And that's the key. The cruelty isn't just a side effect of the relationship, it is the point.
So that leaves us with one last really important question to think about. This whole dynamic, it's not just about having fights or being unhappy. It's about losing pieces of who you are, the erosion of your very self. So, when a relationship literally costs you yourself, what is the real price of staying?